It's time for Random Lore Dump with me, Zero Daylight. Hey, everybody. All right, so we've made it through the first half of the first session, and I'm sure things are going swimmingly. I'm sure they haven't caused any kind of chaos. I'm sure we're completely on track with the story as planned. It's fine if we're not. Um, so we started before the stream talking a little bit about the village that hopefully by now they have just left, and kind of why it is the way it is. And I mentioned a little bit about the Fey Kingdom of Foret that kind of the ancestors of some of our characters came from, and that something happened about a century and a half ago that was maybe really important to the story and the plot. Well, so as the players make their way eastward along the Oldernest Road, I anticipate they're going to run into some clues that might help to, give them some hints or maybe pique their interest. But I thought I would let you know why, kind of why the road is the way it is, and maybe give you some hints about some stuff that they might be coming up on. Don't worry, they're not going to work this. Though they're not going to watch this as it is spoilers. They're not that curious about my story or my world. But you are, right? You care, don't you? Okay, good. All right, so as they make their way down the Oldernest Road, this is an old trade road that used to be very well traveled back in the day. But when Voret fell, people stopped using it. So it's not going to be in great repair. It's going to be somewhat dangerous. I mean, people use it these days kind of locally, but it's not the major trade thoroughfare that it used to be. Add to that the fact that it makes its way through some very old pieces of forest that aren't technically part of the Fey Forest of Voret, but they're connected to it. So we might start to see a few more little weird things happening that might be related to some, intrigue going on. And as they move forward, they might start to encounter greater and greater difficulties, almost as if someone doesn't want them to make it to Aldernest. Hopefully they will figure out who and why before we end the second session. So, speaking of things getting more difficult and more challenging, I thought it would be a good time to just state up front, as the DM, I am the players and the characters' biggest fan. I am not actively trying to kill them. Killing characters is no fun for the character, and it's no fun for me. That being said, the world that our players are stepping into will at times do its darndest to try to kill them. So it's going to be very important for them to make some good choices as they move through the forest along the road. Now, I will try to help them. Like I said, I'm their fan. I'm their assistant. It's my job as the DM to create scenarios where they can triumph over adversity and be heroes. I'm going to do my best to do that, but it's probably going to get tough before we end up. So I mean, we'll see. They might steamroll everything. But just wanted to give you guys just a heads up that if things start to look like they're going south, that is the plan, but it's not the plan to kill them. It's the plan to kind of reinforce that this is at times a dangerous world, and there's some big pieces and big players moving around in the background that might just take notice of our friends, and that might not always be a good thing. So as we move forward with the story, you will learn more. They probably won't, because I said they're not curious about this world. They're not curious about the history, but someone's going to pay attention someday to my wonderful world building, right? This is the only thing I have. No, just kidding. So hopefully you've enjoyed the first half, and hopefully you stick around for the second and are motivated to come back and see the conclusion when we play episode 2.